Hey, yeah, oh, 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 yeah.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this past coming week really wasn't anything major going on politically. I did see something about the Native Americans groups calling for the Washington Redskins to change the name back to Washington Redskins. I saw that. Other than that, other than, the same BS that's going on with the Trump indictments, nothing really new. So let's just get on to what I really wanted to talk to you about this week. I just got done watching here lately the movie called Meg 2. It's the sequel to the first movie with Jason Statham in it. Basically, you have the family's back pretty much, the daughter and him and of course the rich uncle. I think a couple of the crew is back too, but they're wanting to go into the Mariana Trench. I think that's what it's called. It's a really deep spot in the ocean. And I think the reason why they haven't seen any, megalodons is because there's like this freezing layer of water that's, it's like super cold or something. And it's like a barrier between the warm water and the really cold water. And the megalodons stay really deep underneath the cold layer. They don't want to travel up into the warm layer, supposedly. Anyways, they're wanting to go down there and check it out. At least, the rich uncle does. He does have a pet megalodon, which he's supposedly been training. They take a couple of really small subs to go down in there. Now, these are really small. They fit like 4 people in it or something. Anyways, he tells his daughter to stay behind, but she sneaks aboard. It screws everything up. Apparently, there's also this faction of thieves or pirates or whatever you want to call them. They are underneath there too. They found a type of ore or something they can mine from there. It's the only place they can get it. And they're using the rich guy's tech to do it. And he didn't know about it. Apparently they have a saboteur on board. Or, not in the subs, but on the tanker above the water, sitting on the water. Platform 9 or some crap. I don't remember what it's called, but they have someone on the inside his company that's stealing from him. And of course it's a woman, and her accomplice is a woman who's helping sabotage him. She takes the money and decides to screw her friends and get him killed, which pisses everybody off, all the friends off. But anyways, they go down there. There's a mishap. The megalodons. There's this one guy, supposedly from the first movie. I don't remember him. Anyways, he explodes everything, blows everything up down there, including his own men, to try to kill Jason Statham and the rest of them. But it doesn't work. It causes them to crash, and then they have to get out of the subs and track it to the underwater mining station that, you know, the crooks were using. Now, at some point in time, in between this going on, the rich guy, his pet megalodon escapes and follows him down there. So now you got a whole mess of megalodon. They find that there's 3 more of them. They got a whole mess of megalodons down there now. She's in heat. I'm guessing the other 3 are male. Anyways, needless to say, a few of them don't make it to the mining station. And the few that do, they eventually figure a way to get out. But they find out what's going on, who's behind it, yada, yada, yada. When they do get out, they do find a way to get back to the surface, to the platform, the station above the water. When they do, they have to fight their way along there and kill some outlaws, blah, blah, blah. Statham and this other guy, this outlaw, that tried to blow him up down below, they get in a fight down below. Statham thought he killed him, but no, he figures a way to follow Statham up to the platform. There's a big fight ensued there, and then Jason Statham and a few of the others, they escape on a boat to this island that's nearby, which is called, supposedly, I don't know if they're in Thailand or what, wherever they're at. It's, you know, it's an Asian name. It's called Fun Island is the interpretation. So they get to Fun Island, and something happens to where there's a hole that's gotten cut in between the layer, in between the warm and the cold area or whatever, and the megalodons get through it, and a couple other things too, like a giant octopus, and then there's some like a lizard-like reptilian alligator looking things that follow them too. They have to deal with all that while they're on Fun Island, and Jason Statham's killing all the megalodons, and then you know, him and the I think, I'm not sure if he's Japanese or Chinese or what, a Korean, or I don't know. The Asian dude, him and the Asian dude, they end up taking out the giant octopus together. And then, of course, the daughter's causing all kinds of mayhem. She don't listen to a word he fucking says. She does whatever the fuck she feels like, and he just allows it. You know, it gives her a good scolding, and then, oh, proud of you, blah, blah, blah. He's fucking retarded. But anyways, They save the people on the island until the National Guard shows up. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Now, naturally, the stunts are going to be ridiculous. Kind of like the Fast and Furious movies. You know, where the stunts just got outrageous and redonkulous. Of course, you have some of that in this movie, too. You have to expect it. I mean, the CGI was fairly well done, though, for the sharks and shit. It wasn't bad. Better than a lot of others I've seen. When it comes to shark movies, Jaws is about the only other shark movies I've ever watched, except for, I think there was a movie with LL Cool J called Deep Blue Sea or some shit like that. I watched that one. I thought that one was pretty decent. I don't remember much of it, though. I think I thought it was pretty decent, if I remember right. But I've never watched any like them B-rated ass Sharknado and all that kind of crap. So the Meg movies are about the only other shark movies I've ever watched. The first one wasn't bad. It was decent. This one, I'd have to say, was, yeah, it was campy fun. Yeah, it was cheesy, but it had a lot of action in it. It kept you going. The movie kept rolling along with all the action in it. So it was actually not bad. It was decent. And I didn't see a whole lot. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't really, except for the boss bitch crap. Other than that, I really didn't see anything political going on in the movie, which was good. That's a good thing. You know, people are tired of the politics in their movies and shit. So that was a plus. So it was a good, fun movie to watch. It wasn't bad. I give it 2 thumbs up. It wasn't bad. It was decent. It was a good movie. Check it out if you want. All right, let's move on to your B movie reviews. As I said in the last Action Week video, I've just got a few more of these, you know, Kung Fu style movies, action flicks to get through. Like I said, somebody recommended me several of these, and I've been trying to get through them all every time I have an Action Week. So obviously, Movieholics, this week is Action Week. Now, the first one, of course, you know, all these 80s Kung Fu flicks, man, what? It's like the vast majority of them stars Jackie Chan. And of course, you know, this one's no different. Directed by Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung's in it again. They usually were. They stuck together. Plus that bio guy or whatever. There was 3 of them. It's called Project A. Of course, like I said, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung. It was done in 1983. Project A was set like in the somewhere between the 20s and 40s. That style of clothing. The British Empire still controls Hong Kong. Uh, you have them dealing with pirates. There's been a bunch of problems with pirates that they've been having, and they've got two factions of like a police force. They got the Navy police force, and then they got, you know, the city police force. And the Navy police force keeps botching shit up. So the main commander or whatever, the governor or whatever, he gets a little ticked off about it. He's tired of it. So he breaks up the Navy force and puts them under the command of the, you know, the city police. The city police and the Navy police apparently don't get along. But Jackie's character and God, I can't ever think of the dude's name. The bio guy or whatever, you know, the one that's usually stars with them all the time. He's he's an inspector, and he gets teamed up with him. And you know, they try to make some arrests, but problems ensue. And then later on, they kind of figure out how to work together. And then at some point in time, like halfway through the movie, the pirates end up kidnapping a special envoy or some shit from England, and they capture a lot of high status hostages. They take some hostages that are considered really high status. I can't remember. I think one was a marshal or some Navy marshal or something. I don't remember exactly what his rank was, but a few women and other stuff, other people too. But Jackie kind of goes and sees the governor and convinces him to let him lead a group and reinstate the Navy police or unit or whatever, and let him lead them to the pirates and get the you know, free the hostages and take care of the pirates. So the governor or whatever he is, he goes ahead and lets him do it. He finds out that, you know, he was making a deal with like this crook or whatever, because this crook said, I can get them back for you from the pirates, blah blah, it's just going to cost you. And he thought he was doing the right thing, but then after Jackie talked to him, he's like, okay, go get him, do what you got to do, and arrest that asshole. Which they did. They arrested the crook in the city that had ties to the pirates. And then Jackie takes his place, goes to this island where the pirates are hiding out, and they go in there, and Bio or whatever his name is, and his men, they sneak into the island. Now, this whole time, Sammo Hung is playing Jackie's friend called Fats, and he's basically like a con man, thief. He goes with them so he could get a hold of these rifles they've been messing with throughout the entire movie, so he could make a profit off of them. He wants the rifles, like whatever. Anyways, they go there, and there's a big fight scene. They blow up the island and all the pirate ships, and, you know, free the hostages, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. It really wasn't that bad. I was probably one of the very first ones I've seen so far out of the entire group where it was like non-stop action almost throughout the whole movie. Like, there was a lot of action in this movie. I was kind of surprised, you know, because usually it's just a little bit of action and then that's it, you know, towards the end of the movie when Sammo Hung directs one. But no, this one had action all the way through it. So it's pretty decent. If you like Kung Fu flicks, yeah, this one wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. Definitely had a lot of action in it, kept you involved. I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Really good movie. Alright, let's move on to the next one, which of course is Project A2,
The movie that put
or
the
Part
A
2.
in action. Jackie Chan's Project
Now,
A2.
This one,
The movie
it
critics
didn't
call
have
one of
Sammo
the
Hung in
best
it,
Jackie Chan films ever.
but it did have Jackie in it,
Jackie's finest.
starring in it, and
Loaded with jaw-dropping
Rosamund
stunts.
Kwan was the leading lady, and it was done in 1987. There's no box office numbers on it, by the way. This one was a little bit more difficult to find an English dubbed version. I'm just not real big on subtitles. I prefer your English, even if it isn't their voice.
The movie that put the A in action.
The story's a little bit different in this.
The movie critics call one of the 10 best Jackie
In
Chan
this
films
one,
ever.
he's commissioned, Jackie's called in and commissioned to take over a certain area of the city, the west side. There's the guy who was, you know, over the west side, and he kind of got caught or busted
Fate is on my side.
for
The movie that put the A in action.
staging a crime scene, trying to make himself look good.
The movie
in front of the
critics
paper.
call one of the 10
So he got
best
trouble
Jackie Chan
with
films
that.
ever.
Sort
Jackie's
of.
finest.
They actually just bumped him to another area. Kind of, it's not completely over West Side, but it's partial. He's got to kind of work with Jackie. Jackie's taking his spot.
Jackie Chan's Project A2.
So it's not really a demotion, but it's not really a promotion either. It's kind of strange, but
The movie that put
Jackie
the
comes
A
in,
action.
he finds out the
Jackie
police
Chan's
force is
Project
pretty
A2.
much corrupt. He
Movie
brings
critics
a
call
few
one
of
of
his
the 10
buddies
best
with
Jackie
him
Chan films ever.
from the Navy Guard or whatever.
Jackie's finest.
But they decide
Jaw-dropping stunts.
that they're going to go after this one particular I'm not sure if you call him a drug boss or what, but he's a mob boss guy or whatever. They decide they're going to go take care of him because everybody's afraid of him. And most of the department is on the take with them or whatever. So they all go show up there. They get in a big old fight trying to take this guy in because he's wanted for like several murders or whatever. It doesn't go well for Jackie and his few little crew, his loyal men. He didn't bring in any of the crew from the department. But the Navy people show up. The Navy admiral found out that he was going to be stationed there. He might be getting into some trouble due to his niece or whatever, liking Jackie or whatever. But anyways, Jackie's character. He comes in, he helps save the day, and then they arrest the mob guy and a couple of other criminal influences there. When he does this, and he brings him to the station, it pisses off the other guy that he took his place, the other inspector, or chief inspector, and then the guys at the police station saw that it could be done, that they can be arrested, so they all like swish loyalties to Jackie or whatever. Later on in the movie, there's also some type of revolutionary thing going on. Like there's this little secret underground group that's trying to raise money to start this like little revolution or some shit. I don't know exactly what they're trying to do. But they're trying to start crap. And they think all the police are corrupt, which they were until Jackie showed up, but they don't know that. There's a couple females involved with a couple other guys. And there's also, I don't know, he's some kind of prince or something. From way off in a different part of China. Not from Hong Kong. And he wants some type of black book that has a bunch of names in it. I'm not sure what the names are, or if they're underground people, or they're part of the police, good police. Yeah. Anyways, Jackie ends up helping out this group. But at first he gets framed and gets in trouble because they thought he was one of the corrupt police, but later they find out he's not. And then he helps them out, because he finds out what's going on. And then he finds out that his partner, the other chief inspector, is corrupt and is trying to kill him. And there's this big fight scene at the end. Huge, long, drawn-out fight scene, which wasn't bad. It was all right. But eventually, everything gets found out, and the bad guys get arrested, and blah blah blah. Oh, and there's this little group of pirates or whatever that survived from the first movie or whatever, and shows up in the town trying to kill him. But then they end up switching loyalties. Instead of trying to kill him, they try to help him out, because they find out he's actually really decent. He bought a whole bunch of medicine for him and crap like that. So I don't know. Anyways, comes off like he's a good guy, so that everybody starts helping him out towards the end. But he ends up saving the day. He captures the bad inspector. Yeah. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. This one, it was okay. I don't think it was nearly as good as the first one. It didn't have all the action the first one did. The first one was like non-stop action almost. You know, every now and then you'd have a sequence that wasn't action, but it was pretty much action, and it moved. The movie moved along. This one had parts in it where they were trying to be really comical. Like they had this whole apartment scene where these guys kept coming into this chick's apartment, and she'd have to hide them. And then another one would come in and she'd have to hide him, and she's trying to hide them all while the bad guys snuck in there and kidnapped her buddy or friend or cousin or whatever. It was trying to be comical, and it just didn't come off that way. It was kind of a bit silly. But rest of the movie was alright. It wasn't bad. It was decent. I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It was decent, but it wasn't nearly as good as the first one. Check it out. Like I say, if you're into kung fu flicks, you won't be disappointed. It was decent, especially for a Jackie Chan movie. Now, if you had any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you could think of any underrated films or B flicks, B movies that you think I've never even heard of, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you told the truth, and you just been told.